You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, I understand. I will forgive anybody that when I say the name Brianna Turner, you go, who? I'm good. I understand why you would return fire with, who? 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 Yeah, I'm not an owl, I promise. I can understand if you've got no idea who this player is. Outside of the fact that she's one of these character actors. She's not even a character actor. She's like an extra. She's an extra on the set of the Indiana Fever from last year. Otherwise, not a damn person, including myself, would know who Brianna Turner was. But yeah, she was at the end of the bench. She was like one of the zombies in The Walking Dead. You know, she wasn't even like she wasn't like a Rick or Michonne or, you know, a Shane. No, she's like one of the zombies that's stuck in a fence somewhere. That's how much people know who Brianna Turner is. Yeah. So, she has come out with what can only be described as a lunatic-like rant that includes sexual harassment claims towards her team from last year. Why didn't you just say the Fever? That's who you played for? Question mark. And why are we just now hearing about it? Oh, if you care so much about damn rights and women's rights, oh, you probably would have come out with that. Oh, but you didn't because you also care about allowing biological men in women's sports. So you're another one of these that are selling out women at record speed, which is kind of wild. Again, I cannot wait until the LeBron James, the 10th guy on an NBA bench, decides to throw on a wig and says, I identify as a chick today, and goes in there and starts hitting 360s from the free throw line on y'all. I got to be honest with you. I might buy the jersey at that point. I will be laughing. There will be so much laughter. The only reason this is coming out is because Brianna Turner is triggered by Sophie Cunningham, who is truly brave, stunning, and courageous, because in this lunatic league, she's probably going to be, after this season, without a job forever. Oh, because they're so concerned about allowing boys into women's sports and men in the women's sports and girls' sports and in the locker room. You're going to be in your locker room and some guy's going to come swinging through. Yeah, there's your visual for the WNBA locker room. She has gone on she's on an absurd tear on Twitter. Absurd. But this obviously has to do with Sophie Cunningham. She decided to share the Cheryl Reeve rant about allowing men in the women's sports and how much they need to be worried about trans lives. Here we go. Quote, because exclusion is never the answer, trans lives matter. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. Make asylums great again. We are placating and pretending that a blatant mental illness is just cool. Oh, I just said that, and I said it on my main channel. I hope all y'all are mad. I'm not going to pretend. I don't get up in the morning and be like, I'm Batman. I'm good. I identify as Batman. It's ridiculous. Beautifully said. I've been an advocate for the trans community since I entered the WNBA. So many takes about them are based on fear-mongering and bigotry. I have covered so much of this crap involving transgenders over on the big channel in MMA and women actually getting seriously hurt. How about the volleyball player that basically got her eyeball put out from a spike? Oh, but it's bigotry that drives this. It's hatred that drives this. A tiny minority of the population identifies as trans, yet they are always a trending topic, unfortunately. I'm in my 8th season as a WNBA player to date. There's been one out trans player in the league. They caused zero problems. Yeah, because it was a chick. A chick. It wasn't a dude. It wasn't a guy. They didn't have testicles. They wasn't swinging in to the locker room. So, of course, it didn't cause any problems. An issue that has caused problems, though, last year on my WNBA team, a male staff member was fired for sexual harassment. But we were encouraged to keep quiet about it. That's an issue. Sexism, misogyny, homophobia, and racism are all issues. Did you sign a non-disclosure agreement? Question mark. You were encouraged to not say anything, but not required to not say anything? Question mark. Huh. Again, let's keep this real as we're talking about this. It's so odd that this is coming out a day after Sophie Cunningham just keeps it real. There's many sex variations. Folks, there's 2 genders. I mean, seriously. I'm going to read the rest of this because she decides to act like she's throwing in conservative commentators into this because I want to get a little of that action. Intersex people, women without the typical XX chromosome, sex is far from binary. From my time in undergrad at Notre Dame, we're not impressed. I'm not impressed. I took many courses. Many course? You can't even talk. I took many courses where I became better educated on the trans community. My studies have led me to be inclusive. I am more willing to accept hate and whatever else the case may be, as the trans community knows that there are people that support them and want to see them live. Pretty much every right ring, as in Ring of Power, as in Lord of the Rings, as in Frodo's looking for a fucking ring. You just bragged about a Notre Dame education. I swear to God, you bragged about a Notre Dame education and spelled right wing wrong. It's wing, as in the television show Wings, as in a bird wing, as in a wing on a plane. God, dog. That's beautiful. Pretty much every right ring grifter account has posted me in the past, but it's worth it 100%. I'm sure it is worth it because it's the only time anybody knows you exist. To any trans kids, that's gross. I don't even know what you're doing. Trying to talk to children about this. In fact, that's where I'm going to stop. She kept going and going and going. When you bring kids into this, nah, you can keep me out. That's gross. Yes, I know I'm speaking about trans inclusion is a recipe for hate and such an awful platform, but I'd much rather the hate come my way instead of the trans community, and my mentions are off anyway. I know, because you're a coward. You post this, you've had people like me blocked. You blocked me before you ever dribbled a basketball in the W for the Indiana Fever. Which, by the way, if you wouldn't have run your mouth about politics, nobody would have mentioned you anyway. The people would have probably praised you. But nah, you come in like all these other activists. To give you an idea of how radical this person is, Natasha Cloud actually defended Sandy Brondello and had a relatively lucid take about the Angel Reese thing. This person, off the wagon. Unbelievable. Again, picture a WNBA court. Picture some dude 6'7", or all right, going up for a rebound, comes down, nothing but elbows, swings an elbow, hits Caitlin Clark right in the mouth. Jaw broke on national television in front of everybody. Blood slings off. Biological men and boys in women's and girls sports is dangerous. It's physically dangerous. People can get hurt. It's overpowering. It's a mismatch. And again, this is all just randomly coming out because Sophie Cunningham, I'm telling you, you will never convince me this is not because of what Sophie Cunningham said. And by the way, bravo, Sophie. I made a video on Matrix and Roadshow about that, but good for you. Ironically enough, with my choice of words, for showing a pair. In defending women, you are officially the gold standard of professional women that are active. You're the only one that actually had the balls to do it. Again, for a lack of another way of putting it. Brianna Turner. Oh, there he is. It's Rhodes Rance, that right ring grifter. Does that come with a green power ring and a lantern? Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.